Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. In this video we're going to be doing recruitment for OldGreyGamer. We're going to be taking Bonnie up to Paragon 1 or Paragon 2 depending on the luck that we have. And then we're going to be testing her in AFK stages and PVP as well. So we have already done some testing of Bonnie when she came out on the Vietnam server. However, we're going to do some more in-depth testing today and see some more of her capabilities and her potential. What will be really exciting is when we get to see her in action in the Immortal squad. I do have a feeling she is going to be like an upgrade for team number 1, which is the Taylene team. Because even though she doesn't necessarily have a debuff... Oh wow, there we go. Bonnie in just 20 recruitments, which is amazing. We're buying this pop-up bundle. Yeah, depending on the luck, we might even go to Paragon 2, but definitely we're going to be going to Paragon 1. As for the actual, level you should be taking her to, I think, as always, any hero Supreme Plus is fine. You can stop there. Bonnie does seem like she could be, from the testing we did of the day 1 testing. Okay, nice, again. I think we, again, dodge pity, maybe 10 off of pity. She does seem like she could be, oh, wow, back to back. There we go. What is that luck? She does seem like she will... Oh, are you kidding? What is going on? This is crazy. Back to back and then 1 in 20 recruits. I can't finish the point that I'm trying to get across. Yeah, wow, this is really lucky. Okay, I think already we're getting really close to actually getting her to Supreme Plus. Then we're going to need another 45 copies for Paragon 1. Let's see, if the luck continues like this, we're probably going to go right for Paragon 2. I think there's a pity hit. There we go. Just to take a look at it right now, I'm pretty sure we are up to Supreme Plus, at least. We should be by now. We need 63 for that. Yeah, we have enough for Supreme Plus. We can take her there. Okay, I do think she's going to be an upgrade for the Immortal Squad team number 1, which has the Taylene. Because Taylene deals a lot of magical damage, and especially a lot of damage from her ultimate casting. And Bonnie's Supreme Plus ability is after the enemy is at the maximum debuffs from aging magic, they take 20% bonus damage from magical damage from their ultimate, from when a hero is hitting them with their ultimate, and 10% bonus damage if it is non-ultimate magical based damage. But I think basically her dream ally is going to be Taylene for the boss content. I don't necessarily think she's going to be great in Dream Realm, because anyway, in Endless Bosses for Dream Realm, Taylene has been completely replaced by Harak, for example. So Taylene is not really being run anyway. But I think for the... For Immortal Squad at least, I do think Bonnie is going to be an upgrade for the team number 1. Okay, now as for the charm bonus that she will get, she is going to deal extra damage when the hero hits a target. The effect can be triggered once per enemy. The damage is increased. Kind of like an execution-like effect. This is not going to be that helpful for Immortal Squad, but for PvP this is going to be helpful. And we can pick up the Bonnie magic charms that we have here. Okay, obviously you're not going to complete the set on your first one unless you're the luckiest person in the world. And as for the charms, people are thinking that sorcery is the best offensive option and insight would be the best defensive option, basically. But the ultimate power is valuable. And I think when we're talking about going for Immortal Squad, you go for all out damage usually. So I think we're just going to go for the sorcery charm, lock that in. And that is the testing that we're going to be doing for today. Okay, so we already have taken her up to Supreme Plus. We need to get another 90 copies for Paragon 2. And that is going to be another, basically 12 hits. Or we go for just another 6 hits and stop at Paragon 1. Let's see it based on the luck. If we don't, in the next 6 hits, if we hardly dodge pity, I'll probably stop at Paragon 1. And later on, he can decide whether he wants to take her to Paragon 2. Yeah. But definitely her PvP use has been interesting so far. And if you get her Paragon upgrades, that increases her damage dealt. And really the advantage of Bonnie is that even after she's dead, as long as your team is alive, you're getting value from that aging magic. Because those debuffs are sticking on the opponent. And they're going to keep ticking away that damage per second. And also, more importantly, they're going to be debuffed with the haste debuff of up to 50. And the attack debuff of 30 when the haste debuff is at maximum. I think we've gotten 3 hits right now. Alright, there we go. Back to back. Okay, 4 hits. I'm going to go for 2 more. And then we're going to take a look and see how many tickets we have left. Because, yeah, I don't want to go into the diamonds. There we go. We got Bonnie, but I think that was a pity hit. 310 rate up recruitments. Yeah, I mean, if we wanted, like, if you go to pity each time with the 310, that is going to be another 8 hits, right? Almost 8 times 40. If we take a look at the Bonnie, the Bonnie is at, okay, if we got another 8 hits, it would be pretty much almost guaranteed that we're going to get to Paragon 2. We need 9 more hits, right? To take her to Paragon. No, we don't even need that much. Yeah, we actually are going to do it without even using up all the rated recruitment tickets. So I guess we're going to take her to Paragon 2. Yeah. Because she does seem interesting, and I think the other thing is that if you want to ever swap her for another A-level hero, you can do that. And that is the other thing people are thinking about. Like, even if necessarily they're not a big fan of Bonnie, they can recruit her up to Supreme Plus or even Paragon and swap her with another hero. But as for the A-level heroes this season, they haven't been too amazing. Like, honestly, none of them have been like game-changing enough for them to be a even must-pull status. Sinbad was expected to be great, but he just wasn't good enough for example, boss content. Okay, we need to dodge a few more pities if we want to get this before using up all the rate up recruitments. Let's take a look again. 190. I think we have now. We still need another 5 copies, I believe. Which again, we're probably gonna get it.
Don't worry. I'll clear the way.
Oh wait, we don't even need 5 more copies. Yeah, sometimes things just we get. I didn't know that we got another 3 or 4 extra copies compared to the last time we checked. Okay, so we're just gonna need another. Is it just another 3? No, another 4 copies. Yeah, 4 times is gonna be 24. No, sorry, 4 times 8 is 32. 24 is not enough, or is it? 24 is not enough, just barely. So we're gonna have to go for another 4 copies, 32, and that is gonna be it. Okay, not bad. Okay, so hopefully we can dodge pity a few more times. Otherwise, we are gonna get it with exactly 160 invite letters from right now. But hopefully we can get at least 1 more dodge before we're done. But the luck at the beginning of this was pretty crazy. Let's see if we can get another dodge. Yeah, so Paragon on Bonnie is gonna increase her damage dealt, the damage per second. And also, it gives her damage reduction. Okay, there we go. Back to back. Beautiful. Is that it? I think that's it, right? Or do we need 1 more? We can actually see it if there's a notification on her. No, that is the gift. So we're going to get... or we'll have to take her up more to get the headwear. We need 2 more copies of Bonnie. This is when it always hurts. You're like, you're going for another 8 times. But like, there's no other way to do it. Unless you get really lucky with the soul sigils for the A-level hero. Otherwise, there's no way to actually get Bonnie other than from the rate of recruitment right now. Okay, so we're done. So we're done with the Bonnie. Honestly, we had pretty good luck. And it was pretty amazing that we got her to Paragon 2 without having to use any diamonds.
This is worth celebrating.
I do think she's going to be pretty crazy, guys. Like, we're taking her to plus 15 exclusive equipment. So you're going to see Bonnie at almost her full potential right now. In both regular arena and Supreme Arena AFK stages. AFK stages, I really like her because she has high damage output. Even if she dies, the debuffs are going to spread onto the enemies. And she does really well in the Iron Almas comp. But the problem is a lot of heroes do well in the Iron Almas comp, so you're kind of competing for other heroes into that team. Like, for example, Temesia, Carolina, even Tassi is sometimes used. Okay, let's take a look at the talent stages if there is any Iron Almas team. These are all going to be the Harak teams because he's pushed pretty far. Okay, here we have one that we could try. I'm going to replace the Temesia and we're going to be playing or using the Bonnie. Bonnie is... Where is Bonnie? Bonnie is right here. Yeah, okay, she is looking powerful. Plus 15 exclusive equipment. Paragon 2 upgrade. Yeah, this is gonna be crazy. Okay, I don't want to watch this team. I want to watch... We'll watch this team afterwards, but the main thing that we want to watch is the first team. So let's see this one. Okay, so Iron is gonna immobilize all of them. Bonnie's debuff is already there, and now look at that. Because of the AoE magic damage you have, you spread your debuff from Aging Magic of Bonnie to all the allies within like the first few seconds of the match, and now they're almost maximum debuff, right? 77 seconds left, like 13 seconds into the match, they're all attack debuffed, they're all haste debuffed, Bonnie is dealing that damage per second onto them, and it's just game over. Like, is she better than Temesia in this comp? It seems like it. Bonnie is really the hero, which I think is gonna be the most powerful A-level hero of this season. Like, look at that. That was destruction. And we're at a high AFK stage. We're like at 3,700 and something, which is high, but I guess his levels are also high. I don't think he's like really hardcore pushed AFK stages, but still, that was like complete domination with the Bonnie. We're gonna take a look at the damage chart at the end of this fight. We can watch this one on ×2 speed. So that is what Bonnie will be good at. And I think the good thing is that it seems like maybe if you don't have Temesia, or maybe you don't have Carolina, you're missing one of these heroes for the Iron Almas combo team, you can use Bonnie instead. Because Bonnie will be more accessible to newer players who maybe haven't had the time to get Temesia built by putting her on the wish list. And the other thing is that if you haven't recruited for any A-level hero this season, then if you just get Bonnie built up at least to Supreme Plus, if you don't like her later on, you can always swap her. There may become a time where the other A-level heroes are actually going to be pretty meta and important for you to have. Yeah, like her damage output was high. She had a powerful debuff, which really improves the survivability of your team. Obviously Carolina did more, but this Carolina is fully capped out in terms of investment. And Bonnie did it very impressive. And the longer the fight lasts, the more value Bonnie is going to get. Keep dealing that damage per second. So honestly, I'm a really big fan of Bonnie. And when she casts her ultimate, she lands a stun onto the enemies and also hits them pretty hard. That is really cool. Let's do another AFK stage. Let's do a regular AFK stage this time. And again, finding this comp. Again, we'll replace the Temesia. The other advantage of replacing Temesia specifically is you get a nicer factional synergy. Not by much, like here only maybe a bonus 4% of your stats, but every little bit does make a difference. We're going to again attack with the team number 1 first, and let's see what happens. So frontline spell actually isn't the best option here. It still is going to trigger because Tossi's going to move into it, but we don't have the Temesia also triggering it, for example. But now look at this. All of them are debuffed. All are double haste debuffed. And Reese is kind of the only one who doesn't have the attack debuff yet. 75 seconds left. Alright, we're going to immobilize them again. Aging Magic, landing the stun. And with the ultimate power of Sorcery Charms, the Bonnie's stun is actually a 4.25 second stun, which is no joke. And she actually charges up her energy relatively quickly, not as slow as I was thinking. And so she can actually get some value with her ultimate, like she's about to cast it again right now. Yeah, Bonnie is cool, guys. And then also, of course, in PvP, she has a survival mechanism by she can jump and become untargetable and move to a safe location. So Bonnie's looking good. Now, if you are going to go for it and you're a lighter spender, I don't say you don't need to take it a plus 15 exclusive equipment. That it doesn't even give her any meaningful skill upgrade. Is mainly for just increasing her aging magic damage per second and maybe a bit of her survivability by having higher stats. But is mainly a stat upgrade, and I don't think it's a big priority. And as well as Paragon, it's not really needed. You can make good use of her even at Supreme Plus. So if you want to go for it and you're free to play or lighter spender, just take it to Supreme Plus. You do not need to go above that, but Supreme Plus is important because that ability that she unlocks, her Enhanced Force, is going to be important for the Immortal Squad most likely. Because when we take a look at it, that is what is going to increase the damage dealt from magical sources, especially ultimates, by 20% when you reach the maximum stack debuff onto the opponent. Okay, Crystal Veil, I don't think she's going to have use in the Dream Realm. We can see, who knows, maybe she will, but the problem is her own damage. She's like an AoE damage dealer, right? Her debuffs are not helpful for Dream Realm other than her Supreme Plus ability. Her damage to single target, I think, is going to be kind of low, and also Taylene has been completely phased out. If Taylene was a top endless damage dealer and then Bonnie can amplify her damage, that would be a different story. However, Taylene is being kind of replaced, so I do not think Bonnie is going to be the usable in Dream Realm for the top teams. We're going to now look at the regular arena. So we did a lot of regular arena testing, and the team that I found to do the best is basically a really stall oriented team. For example, like the team that we have fielded, but even more than that, go for heroes which basically are never going to die. Tassi has multiple invincibility procs, Damien respawns, Fresters are really tanky. Go for the confining spell because in a long drawn out fight you get value from confining. Enlightening is only for a quick nuke type combo, and now we're going to run the Bonnie. And we can give Bonnie the damage reduction, for example. I think that can be fine. Energy recovery for the Talene, and now watch the team in action. Because what will happen is, basically, I mean the Dionel could try to nuke me, but we don't get the debuff onto Dionel. That is a problem, because even though he's considered the rearmost enemy, there is a miscalculation with Bonnie's debuff and how it applies, unless they fixed it. Now we have the debuff onto Dionel, though he has the attack debuff, and like he's not doing any damage to us. And Bonnie is really safe in the back, like because of her own ability to become untargetable, like that definitely helps. And then also, okay, but then Tassi's going to try to finish her off right now. But the enemy Tassi should be fully debuffed, or not. No, we didn't even apply the debuff onto the enemy Tassi. That is an issue. We need to rewatch this replay, because it seemed like we just didn't debuff anyone. I think it was because we tried to debuff the Damien's Choice Chariot, which didn't work either. Look at this. We're going to watch this replay. Her damage was not... It was still good, but not as high as it could have been. Watch where the debuff goes. We don't debuff anything. Oh no, we debuff the Freyasto, because we can't target the Damien. We can't target the... Well, it should be targeting the Dionel, but... It decides to debuff the Freyasto. And then we don't stack the max debuffs onto him. Until now. Now he's stacked with the maximum debuff, so now he's going to spread to other allies nearby. And it should spread to the Tassi. Right? But it doesn't. Like, why is the Tassi not debuffed? The Dionel is debuffed now, but he only has an attack debuff. Where is his haste debuff? Should have a haste debuff as well. Yeah, and okay. So this was a weird fight. We're going to do some more fights, but... This is kind of the issue. Well, Talene, number one, she will cleanse her debuffs off of her when she resurrects herself. And there's nothing that you can do about that. Let's try to find... okay, we have a rank 5 player, rank 2. Okay, we're going to attack the rank 2 player. Okay, again, we're going to go for our stall comp. And so Lily May even... I feel like is not necessarily the best option into when you're running teams like this, because Lily May can die and you basically just want to survive for as long as possible. Tassi hardly ever dies. If we can find the Tassi here, we can put Tassi behind the Fester Illusion this time. We can have the Damien in the back. Damien, where is Damien? Damien is here, and then we can have the Bonnie. Bonnie is going to be over here, and we can... Can't even have them. No, I think, I mean, I'm going to try it like this. Yeah, I'm going to try it like this. Bonnie has a really high range, 7 range. So the Lily May is going to be attacking the Fester Illusion. Okay, now we have the debuff onto the Tassi in the back, right? And now it's spreading, because we maxed out the debuffs onto her. And now it's spreading to Lily May. Everyone is debuffed with haste debuff. It's only 10 seconds into the match. And now, with more magical damage dealt to them, they're going to get to maximum stack debuff. There you go. Lily May is on the attack debuff as well with the haste debuff. Freyasto is fully debuffed. Talene will cleanse it when she revives. But basically, this is the position you want to be in. You have everyone on the enemy team debuffed. You're ticking that damage per second with Bonnie. And now you're just going to clean it up. Because even if the enemy has a Tassi, she's going to be at maximum stacks of debuff, and she's not going to be able to solo you. So you're done. And that is what I'm talking about. That was a rank 2 player, and a very easy win, and there is that damage output we like to see. So, for whatever reason, with the Dionel Damien comp, it just kind of didn't work. I think there is some spreading issues of the debuff, like certain heroes just, it doesn't spread as fast. It was weird, right? We'll take another rank top 5 player. Okay, so he's running kind of a similar team. So we'll run the same team, because I do think this is a good team to run. But let's see what happens here. Maybe we should swap the Illusion and main Freyasto positions. So we have the debuff on the Talene, okay. Oh, okay, it's spread to the Freyasto and it's spread to the Lily May. Okay, that's still good, right? And now it's going to spread, and it's all spread to all of them. Again, 10 seconds into the match, everyone on the enemy is debuffed. They have the attack debuff, they have the haste debuff. Is the Tassi debuffed? No, the enemy Tassi is not debuffed. I think, okay, It might have something to do with the timing of like the proc of the invincibility of Tassi, that she can avoid getting debuff from the aging magic, because here, okay, yeah, because now we're not going to be able to debuff them, right? So if the timing is kind of in a perfect position, the aging magic is just not able to spread to either the Tailene, if like the Tailene is dead, for example, and if the Tassi is in her invincibility proc, I think it might not be able to spread to her. Or something, or she's untargetable while she's dashing. So if that timing is perfect, you can actually not apply the debuffs onto them. So the counters to Bonnie are going to be these untargetable heroes like Tassi and Tailene. Lily May usually gets hit with the debuff. Like, even though Lily May can become untargetable in Rainstorm Ballet, each time we've attacked a Lily May, they always get hit. Let's try to find the rank 1 player here. Can we find... Wait, are we the rank 1 player? No, we're rank 3. Yeah, I think Rachelia we haven't found, right? But we just cannot find that. Okay, we'll try attack line again. We'll try some different team combo. Yeah, like, I mean, you could go for... I like the Tassi idea. I'm gonna go for Lily May.
Understood.
However, the issue here is Lily May doesn't have the full stall factor because she can get targeted and killed. Okay, we have the debuff onto the Tassi in the back, which is perfect. If you can get the key hero like Tassi debuffed at the beginning, now all we need to do is deal some extra magical damage to her. She's at maximum stacks of debuff. She's attack debuff. She's haste debuffed. Okay, that's great. And now it's going to be spreading. And now we're in a great position. The enemy Lily May also haste debuffed. And then we got the maximum stack and we got the attack debuff. And now we're just in a really good position. Our Lily May is at full health. The whole enemy team is fully debuffed other than maybe the Tailene. But Tailene, you'll have to keep reapplying it anyway. And there you go. Like, it's pretty much game over. Lily May is still at full health somehow. Bonnie goes down to the enemy Lily May damage, but that's fine. We have no issue with that because Bonnie keeps ticking her damage per second even after dying. There you go. And that was really strong. And this opponent had like Paragon 3 Lily May. Let's find the rank 1 player. How come we can't find the rank 1 player? This is really weird. I almost always find my rank 1 player when I'm rank 2 or rank 3, but here we've looked through a lot of fights, we haven't managed to hit it. Let's try to fight EV Boda and see what they are running. Okay, are there any other team ideas that we can try? I mean, you could go... Who else is a great stalling type hero? I guess Thorin would be. Like, let's say we just want Tassi to kill everyone at the end. Or even Tailene could try to kill everyone at the end. And go for a team like this. Basically, this team as well is going to be pretty much impossible to kill. The only one really at risk of dying is the Frester Illusion, and then you can resummon that. But yeah, Tassi would do well, Tailene would do well. Basically a hero which is permanently going to be on the field. Thorin is still pacting, protecting the Bonnie even further. Now all the enemies are pretty much debuffed. It's so amazing to see all these debuffs onto the enemies. And Bonnie she really has a pretty good job of surviving. She's surviving much better than I expected. I was worried that she would be really easy to kill at the beginning of the match, but that is not really the case. Bonnie's surviving for most of the match, getting off her value, even able to cast her ultimate. And our Tassi cast her ultimate. We have all the debuffs onto the enemy. We need to spread them onto the... There, we got an attack debuff, but that was not from... from the decaying magic. But anyway, there we go. When you look at the damage chart, it was all Bonnie and Tassi. So it is, this team comp is definitely pretty dominant. Can we find Rachelia, or is that... Okay, there we go. Finally found her. She runs a Dionel comp. Now, here's the thing, right? Dionel is the rearmost hero. So Bonnie should stack the debuff onto her, or onto him. Are we going to run the same team at Thorin? I guess we'll try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the debuff should go onto Dionel. It doesn't go off onto him, right? Well, I saw some haste debuff text onto him. Does it actually go onto him, but it just doesn't display? I think it did go onto him. Because it said, I think there was a haste down red mark onto Dionel at the beginning of the match, and then after we dealt some magical damage to him, he actually ended up getting the attack debuff as well. So, yeah, like Dionel is not immune to haste debuffs, right? So it does work against Dionel if he's in the rearmost position. However, there's a miscalculation of the rearmost, where, for example, if Dionel is there, as well as like another hero, like I'll show you an example, like in our defensive formation. Defensive formation. Okay, so like let's say you have Scarlet, or let's say you have just like Dunlinger here and Dionel there. Rearmost is technically the Dunlinger. However, if you have Bonnie attacking into this team, her debuff is going to land onto Dionel because there's like a miscalculation with the rearmost target on offense, or at least this is how it was on Vietnam server. So I'm assuming it's still the same problem here. If it's like this, it is always Dionel. He is the rearmost. But here, the thing is, technically Dunlinger is the rearmost, but Bonnie's debuff will go off onto Dionel. And that is a problem because, like, for example, if you're running a Dunlinger Dionel comp like this, for example, then the debuff is going to try to go off on a Damien rather than the Dionel, right? And that is the issue. But anyway, guys, that is going to be basically the showcase of Bonnie's potential. She is a very strong hero. In Supreme Arena is kind of the same way you would want to use her in a stall-oriented team like Fiestro, Taylene, maybe Scarlita, like a Hypogean Celestial team with Bonnie would be a good option. Basically a team which is going to survive for a long time, or a Tossie team that will clean up at the end while Bonnie sets debuffs onto all the enemies. And you can also use it to counter if there is a key enemy hero in the rearmost position, but they have to, like, if there's another hero, then that could be the one that you land the debuff onto. So like for example, the Dionel comp that we showed you, the Bonnie is not countering it fully. Let's just check that. Can we check this somehow? Because I think this rank 4 player, he had the Dionel. Yeah, he has a Dionel and he has the Damien. Let's watch this one more time and watch the Dionel. Is there going to be any haze debuff? Yeah, we get the haze debuff onto him. So even though it doesn't show the haze debuff, he is actually reduced. It might be because his own haze buff is like counteracted by the haze debuff, and like, so that is why it doesn't show, but then the attack debuff shows. So it is working. It is actually working, and it seems like it's actually on the intended target. But maybe it was because Damien's Toy Chariot is not targetable, right? Like, the Damien Toy Chariot was not targetable, so that's why it went off onto Dionel. So we don't know for sure. Is it always actually going to go off onto the true rearmost, which is the Dionel in this position? But you guys can let me know based on your testing, and I think they probably will fix this if it isn't already. This is just kind of like the miscalculation which has happened even for Valor Shield spell for a while. It was having the same issue that like the frontmost was not the actual frontmost, but it was because of the miscalculation, and then they fixed it. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video. Big thank you to OldGreyGamer for letting us use his account for this testing. And I will see you guys in the next video. And until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.